Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show you here how to make the world's cheapest Commander deck box. As you can see here, I've already made one. I actually made this quite a long time ago and forgot about it. It was when I first just got in. I needed something to hold cards, and I had gotten one of these Monet vegetable cracker boxes from the dollar store or Dollar Tree. And I just was looking at it, I was like, the dimensions on this seem to work. So you can see here, this that I have inside is a Commander deck. Some of these are double sleeved, and there are token cards in here as well. And as you see, it fits from side to side, perfect. And then you get 100 plus in there. It's like the perfect exact size of Commander deck boxes. And as you see here, I'll show you how we made a lid. So what I did basically was, the start of it, as you can see here, Monet vegetable. So we're dealing with about, this is the lid part here, and then this is the body part. Now I'm hoping, I did buy these, which are also at the Dollar Tree. Now look, these are just a fraction of an inch bigger than these. They're both square. As far as this part of it, it's a square. I'm thinking we might be able to, without altering, cutting up the sides and doing all kinds of work like that, we might be able to just cut this in half, and then have this top slide over one of these and make two deck boxes easily out of these two. So these are $1, but obviously you get the crackers in there, so it's basically just free because you're throwing away the extra wrapper. And they're pretty good crackers, at least the Monet are. I know these are good. I like these. These I haven't had yet. They look like the same. They look kind of more generic, maybe. Same size, hopefully same quality. So the first step is, obviously we got crackers in here. Now normally I would say just go ahead and open up these, but that's another thing. When you're picking these out, you want to try to get, because some of these will be way off. Way off. I don't know if this one is a bad one. This looks like this is a little bit more off than that one. I did pick through these and got some pretty good ends, but as you see on this side how it's a little bit off. Now if they are good, I would recommend just leaving that and going in the middle, because you're gonna have to cut through the middle of it anyways. But yeah, if this is a good seal, I would just try to get it, but if not, just open that up if it's way off over here and stuff, and you're gonna have to open up and readjust it to square it up. Open up, take your crackers out, and save yourself the expense of trying to accidentally poke a hole in your crackers. So I will go ahead and I'll try to show you. Now for starters here, make sure you use safety if you're doing this. First part is you want to cut it in half. You could eyeball it obviously and just kind of look and see it's about half. Or if you got a handy ruler, they do sell them at the dollar store, like 3 for $1. You could use your ruler to measure it out there. Looks like they're going to put them on the top. So this is almost 8 inches long. So we put a, just go ahead and put a little mark here. A little mark here. Try to mark the box instead of my ruler. Just follow that back up over. Another mark here. That would be so accurate, so because we will be trimming this down, and depending on how you do it, you might trim it down a lot. So I'll just go through this real quick. You probably eyeball that. As you can see, I was going across. Ended up getting this one off a little bit. From the eye, it looks looks like it didn't measure up quite as good. So just give it the old eyeball test after you do that. And then since we do have some delicious crackers in here, with this I'm gonna, a couple methods. I'm gonna try this fillet knife for fish first. I'm just gonna very gently ease through there, and you don't want to cut yourself at all. So you don't really want to put any pressure at all on this at all. Just give it a little bit of twist, and it'll go through at some point. There you go. Okay. It's going through, and then just give it a little bit of space, because you're not going to cut it with a knife. Alright, so what you're going to cut it with is actually just the scissors, which is a lot safer. Still be safe. Don't be an idiot. And just like I said, you just made that hole good, big enough so you can fit that scissor right through there. And just go ahead and cut. The only difficult part is the fact that there are crackers inside that box. So that might make it a little bit more difficult. Just navigating around those crackers. And it's okay if we're destroying this a little bit here. We're gonna be, the box is only gonna be about here or so. Now we got ourselves a side there. As you see, it's pretty ugly. I'm gonna try the next one. I'm gonna use this little razor tool. See if that cuts it a little better, maybe. A little bit more dangerous though. So they don't fit inside each other because they are the same. So if you want to make a top, I'll show you. We'll have to cut the sides of these if they don't work. If they do work, if this here happens to perfectly fit over it, you take the crackers out. This is not the safest razor blade. If you got one of those ones that carpenters use, where you can just put out just a little bit of an edge there and then slide that, that'd be a lot safer. There we go. We got 2 ends and 2 bags of crackers. All right, there we go. Now let's see if we hit the lottery of size comparisons, and let's see if one will slide over the other. This looks like a little safer one. So this is going to be the smaller one, if they are smaller, and this is going to be the bigger one. Ooh, do not. Looks like they do not. One does not fit over the other, unfortunately. I know it's a little ugly, but still, I think if we trimmed it up, I don't think it's gonna fit. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. But I'll show you how we can go ahead and make them. We can just do it separately. Alright, I cleaned up all that mess there. So now, if you do cut your deck here, and you get some ugliness here, just go ahead and take your scissors and then trim up where you went around there, and get the rest of that cut off and get all that cleared up so that you just got a straight edge. You just want like a straight edge, and then you could go lower. I mean, if you want to, like this here, I have it subset, but if you want to expose it or put it down a little bit more, you can. I would keep it above the cards, and I'll show you a way we can kind of, I've thought of where we can get a little fingers in there and pull them out. Or your little fingers. My finger's pretty fat. Now with this one, I'm just gonna go with this one because with the razor blade, I did cut a pretty clean, much cleaner cut than with the scissors. So I'm gonna use, as far as the bottom, one of these has like a little tab here, which could just kind of make it unbalanced, and this one doesn't. So this is a lot smoother bottom. So this is going to be the one I use for the bottom. Now if you can see the sides here, they bubble up a little bit, and obviously way more on this side. That is bad. So what you want to do is just take a piece of tape, take a piece of tape that like a regular old piece of tape. Take a piece off of there and just put it on there about halfway on the top part. Get that nice and on there. Do not put it down and then squish down so that that is flat, and then just roll that over. And that'll just secure the bottom. Make sure that stays flat. And let's do another one on the other side. I'm just roughly guessing how much tape to use here. Pretty good guess. Alright, then the same thing, just push it down, and once it's there, flip it over, secure it in spot. You can put another piece of tape right here too, just on that seam. Protect that seam from getting exposed. I wouldn't consider this waterproof. I could, but definitely a little bit more secure. Now it does have some, as you can see at the bottom there, there's a little bit of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a completely useless card that'll never have any value, since they almost fit perfectly right in there. And I'm not going to measure it. I just kind of put it like this, and it looks like the third text. After the third text is where I'm going to cut this. And then I'm just going to drop it down on the bottom there. So it just has something, just something in the bottom that's completely flat. And just take the little corner off. And drop that down in there. And you see now you got to completely smooth the bottom. Don't have to worry about that catching or roughing on anything, even though it's highly unlikely to, but I drop that down to 0%, which makes it a little bit better. Now the second part, we're going to go ahead and take this and make a top out of it, so that it just slides on top of there. Now for this, it's going to be a little bit more in-depth, a little bit of work here. So what you want to do is take your scissors and cut right on those corners all the way up to the top, as far as you can go. Try to stay on the scissors on the corner. Keep the scissors on the corner. It will get hard, as they will. The corner wants to reject that and push you back over to the more flatter spot. Just go ahead and just cut up those. So you can see there, see how now it expands. So what you want to do is go ahead and grab your bottom and just take your new top, put it over the top like that. And see how it just fits, slides right down there on top of it. Now all you got to do is just, once you got that there, go ahead and take some more tape. And then just, you're gonna tape one side, and just kind of, you don't want to squeeze it hard as you can or anything like that. You just want to put a little bit of pressure, so that would be about where it is when it's on there as the cover, because there will be a little gap in between there. Take another little piece of tape. Go ahead and do that with this side. Get that, squeeze it up in there, and just fold it over. Once again, you're not really squeezing the crap out of this, as you can see without me holding it there. Look at the gap that's on there. But then I put a little squeeze, and then there's still a little gap there. This is going to be bigger. But you don't want to try to squeeze the box back to its original size, because once again, they're both the same size, and then it won't fit. And then just the last corners generally be where you're going to have to make up all of that, where you over squeezed it for the other ones. You're probably always going to over squeeze it for the, and then just kind of once again line that up, get that lined up right on there, and there you go. You have a deck box. You go ahead and put your cards right in there, put this over the top of it, slide it down nice and secure. Now the only other thing I was going to do is you want to be able to put your fingers in there if it is up too high. And they got those, you know, where they make those nice little finger holes that look something like this. So you go like that, that's there, and this is all cut out like that. Well, that's probably going to be too difficult working with a knife or a scissors. You want something more of a straight line. So I was thinking, I do want that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and mark a point here and a point here where I think my fingers would go. And then I'm going to do another point here. And instead of having that nice pretty little U-shaped finger hole, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to cut a nice straight triangle. Just cut it right to the one, once you get to that other point that you marked, or cut this one to that other point too that you marked there. Pull that out. Do it on the other side. You could probably eyeball these. I would recommend at least probably putting a couple dots there. That'll help you out. We'll see how horrible this side comes out, since I didn't mark it previously. As you see, I'm already cutting way more times than if I had just marked it. Not too bad. You got that. You got that. And then let's go ahead. Let's load it up. We have here an actual commander deck. We're going to go ahead and put in side there. That deck we just completed. I think your finger holes might need to be a little bit shorter, farther down, or we could trim some off. But we can reach in there, we can grab that. So there you go. I'm not going to put the sideboards in there. I guess I could. Or not sideboard, but the tokens. There you go. Commander deck. This one is a little bit wider. Just the tiniest than the other one. And like I said, I was hoping that they would fit over it. But there you go. You got finger holes, just slide everything in and out. Slide it back in there. And then you also have yourself a nice little lid that you can put on top. I would cut these all the way up to the top here, but my scissors is getting bad. So, but yeah, if you want to make that, I'd probably go all the way to the top there. Be a little smoother, but like I said, you can do it however you want. There you go. You got the world's cheapest commander deck tech. Didn't cost you anything if you like crackers. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good day.